Hey guys, just got done with the 7 8 mile run. Started at 4:30 in the morning. It's about 5:41 now. It's definitely cold out here. Body was kind of trying to stay in the bed this morning, but had to find the motivation to get up. My legs were still kind of sore from the last run I did. But as you can see, it's real dark, so I'm trying to keep myself in my little flashlight just so you can see me. But just wanted to talk about discipline real quick while I'm doing my cool down here. You know, a lot of people talk about discipline. A lot of people like that word. You know, they like to see people that's disciplined, and they'll compliment them for, their ability to persevere and stick to a regimen. But oftentimes, these people can't find the discipline for themselves. They can't see that within themselves. A lot of people, they want to aspire to a level where they have discipline, but they can't conceive of it as far as actually implementing it in their lives. And one of the biggest challenges I faced at one point in my life was that, a couple of years ago, I was on a job that I definitely hated. I fell into a depression. I started eating more junk food, started making, bad choices, not taking care of myself, and I would make it a routine that when break time came or when lunchtime came, I would go to the gas station and, buy a soda, buy some candy bars, probably buy a pack of Skittles, just a whole bunch of junk. And there's bad things that you implement in your life, and there's good things. So, needless to say, I had the discipline to take my breaks religiously, make sure I went to lunch on time in order to go find some junk food, something unhealthy, something that was loaded with sugar and salt. But I knew that would kind of pick me up for the rest of the day, and that's what a lot of us do. We know that these things aren't good for us, but we still choose to consume it because, unfortunately, we live in a society to where the food industry, they know what types of chemicals and ingredients to put into food to make you addicted. So it's loaded with sugar, loaded with salt, things that the body gets addicted to, the brain. And we find it hard to get off of these things. And the point I'm trying to make is that this can make it harder to implement any sort of discipline in your life as far as exercising, getting your mind and body in shape, especially when you're dealing with mental health issues. But just like I said, I was able to make that regimen of going on my breaks and lunch on time in order to go make bad choices, to where I had to dig deep in myself and find who I really was, who I truly was, because that's not who I truly was. I was always a runner. Even before I joined the military, I was always running, love running. But like I said, I had a few, situations in my life to where I fell in a dark place, and it was hard to pull myself out. So for those of you who don't have that background, as far as having, parents who told you to make healthy choices, or you had people around you that influenced you, you're just going to have to start implementing it. There's no secret ingredient or recipe to this thing as far as having discipline and making the right choice. You're just going to have to say, hey, right now at this second, I'm going to make better choices. I'm not going to wait for this magic pill formula or prescription to come out. I'm not going to wait for my family to say, hey, let's start making a change, because let me tell you one thing. People don't care about your health and fitness. They don't care about your well-being. They may compliment it when they see it, but oftentimes people are dealing with their own demons. They have their own struggles going on. So now they're not looking at other people as far as wanting to see them rise up, become a better version of themselves, because they're stuck, in a dark, deep place. And a lot of people, they get envious and jealous when you're on your journey. That's why you can't expect people to cheer for you 24/7 when you're trying to make your transition to being healthy. If you want to be a runner, if you want to start exercising regularly, you can't look for support anywhere, because unfortunately we're all humans, and You know, we make mistakes, we're imperfect. You know, one day you may have someone motivating you. You may have that loved one saying, you're doing a good job, you're getting to it. The next day, they may have their own struggle going on to where, you know, they might be giving you the side eye. They might be looking down on your efforts. So, stop trying to find a reason to start on your, health journey or exercise journey by looking to other people, because people will fail you, unfortunately. And that's where the discipline comes from. It comes from building up your own mind and understanding what you need to do and say on a regular basis in order to drive yourself continuously. Like I said, I'm a religious runner. I do 2 6-mile, 6, 7, 8-mile runs twice a week, and then I do a 15-mile run on the weekend. And that's been ongoing for years, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I go to the gym, I do calisthenics at home, so it's always something I'm doing. But that wasn't an easy journey either. I didn't just jump into doing that. I had to train my mind into making that routine, because we'll make things routine that we think is mandatory. For instance, we'll show up to a job on time, we'll report to a boss, we'll get assignments in on time, because we know people are watching. We know people are having expectation of us at that time. So we'll practice discipline in that arena when it comes to our work life. But when no one's looking, that's what I see with a lot of people. They do the right thing when someone's looking, but when no one is looking, that's when they fall into the bad habits, bad choices, because they feel like, oh, nobody's watching me, nobody's judging me at this time. I see people all the time. They're dressed up to the T, makeup on, best clothes, smelling good. You think these people have it all together. And what I've learned in my years of living is that that's all a facade. That's all superficial, because the most beautiful, handsome people, those can be the people that's suffering the most in life. And they're just putting on all of that superficial, glamorous stuff to hide, how rotten they are inside, how much insecure they feel about themselves, how unhappy they are. They use those things as a cover-up, So a lot of us, we'll do that, we'll make that a habit as far as reporting on the job and whatsoever else. But, like I said, when no one's looking, that's when we fall into those bad habits. And what you have to understand is, even at that time, you're still being judged, because the only observer that matters in your entire life, whatever you're doing, is you. These people that you see out, in the world and come into contact with on the job, they know you, but they don't know the true you. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what you suffer with at night. They don't know the type of demons you may be dealing with. And you're showing up on the job all dressed up, jazzed up, and people think you have it all together, and vice versa. You think other people have it all together, So the only person that matters at the end of the day is you. How do you view yourself? Are you proud of what you're doing from the time you wake up to the time you put your head back on the pillow? Are you putting your effort into things that matter, such as your mental and physical well-being? Because we'll exhaust ourselves on these jobs. We'll give our all. We'll give 100% on these jobs. And as you can see now, what's going on is a lot of people are in the place of losing their jobs and positions, because you can't trust at the end of the day that these companies, organizations are looking out for you, basically. Like I said, the only person that's going to do that is you. You have to build the regimen. You have to build the discipline. You have to put in the commitment to build the type of life you want to. You can't rely on anyone else, unfortunately. And that could be husband, wife, girlfriend, brother, sister, mother, father. Of course we love these people, but like I said, everybody deals with their own demons. Everybody's trying to make their way through this life, and a lot of times someone else's best interest is not in another person's best interest. So I just want you to make a commitment today. I want you to be able to say, hey, I'm not going to wait till tomorrow. I'm not going to put this off till next week. I'm not going to make some flimsy New Year's resolution to say that, hey, this is when I'm going to make a change in my life. I'm going to start today. You know, like I said, stop looking for these magical diets, magical pills, you know, just this support that is not going to be consistent, and start today. So I want you to run with that today. Think about what better choices you can make, what better habits can you formulate, and take that, you know, and be proud of yourself. Peace.